Have you ever wondered why some people thrive in their later years, while others quietly struggle with regret, loneliness, or poor health? The truth is, it often comes down to a few small but powerful choices we make along the way. In this video, we'll uncover 5 subtle mistakes that can quietly chip away at your happiness as you age, mistakes that most people don't even realize they're making until it's too late. But once you see them, you'll have the power to change everything. Curious? Let's dive in. One of the most common and quietly devastating mistakes people make as they age is neglecting their physical health. It doesn't usually happen all at once. Instead, it creeps in gradually, skipping a morning walk here, reaching for convenience foods there, or brushing off that routine checkup because it can wait. Over time, these small decisions snowball into bigger problems: reduced mobility, chronic pain, fatigue, and in many cases, serious medical conditions that could have been prevented. What many people don't realize is that much of the physical decline we associate with aging isn't inevitable. It's not simply getting old. It's the result of inactivity, poor nutrition, and ignoring the body's early warning signs. If you've ever felt stiff after sitting too long, or noticed that walking upstairs feels harder than it used to, that's your body trying to tell you something. Movement is essential no matter your age. The less you move, the harder it becomes to stay active. Simple tasks like getting up from a chair or reaching for something on a shelf can become surprisingly difficult. Weak muscles can lead to poor balance, which significantly increases the risk of falls, one of the most dangerous threats to seniors. A single fall can result in injuries that take months to heal, or even permanently affect your independence. Diet also plays a critical role. As we age, our bodies require more of certain nutrients like protein, calcium, and fiber to maintain strength, bone health, and digestion. Yet many seniors assume that eating less means nutrition matters less. In reality, eating processed foods or skipping meals can lead to fatigue, weakened immunity, and long-term health issues like diabetes and high blood pressure. And let's not forget about routine checkups. Many people avoid the doctor unless something feels seriously wrong, but regular screenings can catch issues like high blood pressure, cholesterol, or osteoporosis before they become major problems. Prevention is always easier than treatment. The good news: it's never too late to turn things around. Start small at a 15-minute walk to your day, choose whole foods over packaged snacks, and schedule that overdue checkup. You are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable. Please comment below to let me know you are here. And if you are not yet subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Your support helps us continue to create good content to inform and inspire you. Let's keep going because your health is the foundation for everything else. Taking care of your body is essential, but physical health is only one part of the equation. Just as neglecting movement and nutrition can weaken the body, isolating yourself from friends and family can quietly erode your emotional well-being and mental sharpness. Sadly, this is a mistake many people make without even realizing it. It often begins with something small: turning down a social invitation, skipping a phone call, or assuming loved ones are too busy to visit. Over time, these little choices turn into a pattern, and before long, a once active social life is replaced with long hours alone. What feels like a personal preference for peace and quiet can gradually turn into deep loneliness. And loneliness is far more damaging than most people think. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness has a comparable impact on health to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of heart disease, weakens the immune system, and is linked to a higher risk of depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. When we stop engaging in conversations, sharing experiences, and feeling emotionally connected to others, our minds begin to slow down. Memory loss becomes more likely, motivation fades, and life starts to feel smaller. Take Dorothy, for example, a 76-year-old who slowly drifted away from her social circles. She told herself it was fine, that people were probably too busy anyway. But as the months went by, she found herself watching more TV, sleeping more during the day, and losing interest in the things she once enjoyed. Everything changed when she decided to reach out again, calling an old friend, joining a local book club, and inviting her grandchildren over more often. Her mood lifted, her energy returned, and she felt like herself again. It's also important not to rely solely on family for connection. While loved ones are invaluable, they can't always be available. Building a broader network through neighbors, clubs, volunteering, or faith groups can provide a steady and meaningful source of companionship. Technology can help too. Video calls, voice messages, and even simple texting can bridge the gap when in-person visits aren't possible. Don't let unfamiliarity with technology hold you back. Learning it is easier than you think, and the payoff is well worth it. Staying socially connected isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for a vibrant, fulfilling life. Just as isolation can slowly rob us of joy and connection, refusing to adapt to change can quietly create frustration, dependence, and a sense of being left behind. It's a mistake that often goes unnoticed because it doesn't happen overnight. It shows up in the little things like avoiding new technology, resisting lifestyle adjustments, or holding tightly to old routines simply because that's how I've always done it. But the world doesn't stop changing, no matter how much we wish it would. And the more we resist, the more disconnected and limited we become. Many older adults assume that change is for younger people, that after a certain age, they shouldn't have to keep learning or adapting. But that mindset can lead to unnecessary struggle. For example, avoiding smartphones, online banking, or video calls might seem like a small inconvenience at first. But in today's world, those tools are no longer optional. They've become essential for staying in touch, managing daily tasks, and protecting yourself from scams or misinformation. Albert, a 78-year-old retired teacher, used to believe his flip phone was good enough. He didn't want to bother with all the complicated stuff, but over time he noticed that his grandkids stopped including him in group messages, his doctor's office moved to online appointments, and his bank started requiring digital access for certain transactions. Eventually, he gave in and started learning one step at a time. Now he texts, joins video calls, and even orders groceries online. What once felt intimidating became a tool for freedom and independence. Refusing to adapt also shows up in other areas like diet, safety habits, or even relationships. Some seniors ignore new medical advice because it contradicts what they were told years ago. Others criticize how younger generations live, communicate, or think. But digging in your heels doesn't protect your values. It just creates distance between you and the people you care about. Adapting doesn't mean changing who you are. It means staying open, curious, and engaged with the world as it is not as it used to be. When you embrace change with a flexible mindset, you discover new ways to connect, simplify your life, and stay independent. The truth is, learning never stops, and the more willing you are to adapt, the more rewarding your later years can be. Just as resisting change can leave you feeling disconnected and unprepared, mismanaging finances can quietly turn what should be your most comfortable years into a time of stress and uncertainty. Many people assume that once they reach retirement, money becomes less of a concern. But the truth is, Financial mistakes made in later life can have long-term consequences that are difficult to reverse. For some, the problem is overspending. After years of working hard, it's natural to want to enjoy retirement, take trips, buy gifts for loved ones, or finally indulge in things you once postponed. But without a clear budget and a long-term plan, it's easy to burn through savings faster than expected. Inflation, rising medical costs, and unexpected emergencies can quickly drain even the most well-planned nest egg. Take Richard, for example. At 72, he felt financially secure and wanted to make the most of retirement. He traveled, treated his grandkids, and dined out regularly. But by his late 70s, his medical bills started rising, and his savings were shrinking faster than he had anticipated. Without a solid financial plan, Richard found himself relying on his children for support, something he never thought he'd have to do. Another common issue is failing to plan for long-term care or underestimating future expenses. Many seniors think that Medicare will cover everything, only to discover that certain types of care, like assisted living or extended home health care, come with out-of-pocket costs. These expenses can quickly add up and put a serious strain on your finances if you're not prepared. Seniors are also frequent targets of scams. Whether it's fraudulent phone calls, phishing emails, or dishonest financial advisors, it's easy to be caught off guard. This is especially true for those who may not be familiar with how technology-based scams work. Learning how to recognize red flags and seeking advice from trusted sources can help prevent devastating losses. The key isn't about being wealthy, it's about being wise. Creating a realistic budget, keeping track of your spending, and making regular financial checkups part of your routine can help ensure your money lasts. Staying informed, asking questions, and not being afraid to seek professional advice can make all the difference. Financial peace of mind in later life isn't about having more. It's about protecting what you already have and using it in ways that support your independence, health, and happiness. Just as mismanaging finances can quietly erode your sense of independence, overlooking your need for mental growth and purpose can drain your spirit in even more subtle ways. Many people, after retiring or completing major life responsibilities, fall into the trap of thinking their time for learning, contributing, or dreaming is over. But nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, losing a sense of purpose is one of the most overlooked causes of emotional decline in later life. When you no longer have something meaningful to wake up for, a goal, a hobby, a passion, it's easy to start feeling disconnected, unmotivated, and even depressed. Life begins to feel like a waiting game instead of a meaningful journey. Take Linda, for example. At 70, after retiring from a busy career, she suddenly found herself without direction. She spent most of her days watching television, convinced that her most important years were behind her. Over time, she noticed she was forgetting things more often, felt low on energy, and lost interest in the things that once brought her joy. That changed when she enrolled in a painting class at the local community center. Not only did she discover a new talent, but she also found new friends, renewed energy, and a deeper sense of purpose. Science backs this up. Our brains remain capable of learning and forming new connections at any age. The danger isn't in aging itself, it's in stopping. When we stop challenging ourselves, stop being curious, and stop engaging with the world, our cognitive function begins to fade. Mental growth doesn't have to be academic or intense. It can be as simple as reading books, solving puzzles, taking up gardening, learning a new recipe, or writing in a journal. Even better, finding a way to give back through volunteering, mentoring, or sharing your wisdom with others adds purpose and structure to daily life. It's never too late to try something new. In fact, some of the most inspiring stories come from people who reinvented themselves in their 70s, 80s, or beyond. Your mind is still alive with possibility, and your life still has meaning. The key is to stay curious, stay connected, and never stop growing, because purpose doesn't retire, and neither should your spirit. As we grow older, life has a way of revealing what truly matters, not just the years we've lived, but how we've lived them. The most important lesson is that aging doesn't mean fading into the background. It's a new chapter that calls for intentional living, taking care of your body, nurturing relationships, adapting to change, managing your finances wisely, and continuing to grow mentally and emotionally are not just strategies, they are acts of self-respect. Every small choice you make today shapes the quality of your tomorrow. Staying active, staying curious, and staying connected are the keys to a life that remains rich with purpose and joy. It's easy to believe that certain opportunities have passed, but the truth is, it's never too late to start again, learn something new, or create a meaningful moment. Your value doesn't diminish with age. If anything, it deepens. Your experiences, your wisdom, and your presence have power. So live each day with intention, knowing that even the smallest step forward can bring light, connection, and fulfillment. Life is not just about adding years, it's about adding life to your years. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Please share in the comments one insight you gained and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your feedback is invaluable and keeps us motivated. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support enables us to continue creating content that informs and inspires. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.